All right, good morning, guys. Today is Friday, May the 12th, and as usual, we'll be going over analysis for US 30, gold, US 30, gold, and EU. So this morning I sent out a trade, this trade for gold in the Discord. So I sent it in the commodities channel. So this is the trade I entered right here on some of my accounts. So the reason for this trade, if we just backtest it, and again, today is, I like to call today Feedback Fridays. So this is when you just either, because Fridays are bound to be manipulated. So we just try and see where we can improve for the week and anything we can do for next week and see some of the things that we saw during the week. So when this trade was happening or before, um, I saw gold was rejecting. And if you have access to my charts, so remember, for those of you who've subscribed to, actually, for the whole of this month, which ideally was just $50 for the rest of this month. And so if you go to the general channel and go to the pinned message, you'll see this message that I sent up here yesterday. So to me, this is a no-brainer if you want to see, if you want to get a glimpse of everything that I have to offer, indicators, signals, and charts. But remember, you don't need to subscribe to make money with me. But the particular reason for this, gold was rejecting off of this demand zone that I had right here. Yeah, sure, there was a 4-hour bearish low, so it was within a high time frame order block. So you can see we had a 4-hour bearish low and bearish high. However, right, I always say, like yesterday and the day before, and we normally don't take trades the first 10 minutes of market open as we wait for markets to stabilize. So I said, as much as you can have something like this, bearish zone, remember that always look at where price is around you. So the first thing for me, I saw price was rejecting off of this demand zone. Then I saw we had a high low. So by the time I was seeing this trade, it was somewhere here. So this is what we had. So when I saw this, we have a lower low, we have a high low. So what do we call this? We call this a static or an established trend line. So that's confluence number 2. You have a demand zone. You have a static trend line. Confluence number 3, I saw gold has been dropping since yesterday, right? When we were the live session. I remember I did say we were looking for reversal. So I came in here to the reversals indicator. So this is the the reversal that I was expecting yesterday. We did get a buy. However, this buy came around 12 or around 12 p.m. So about an hour after the live session was over. So remember, for me, I like taking trades between New York Open up to 11 p.m., 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So which is in and around when we end the live session. Also for other reversals, maybe around Asia session, right? Because during 11:30 to maybe 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you normally have some sort of consolidation and maybe some manipulation before the move happens. So I did enter this buy with a smaller lot size with a high. It was like a filler trade for me because I knew this trade came up after markets or after the time I normally stop trading. So for this one, I believe I went with 150 pips or whatnot. If I no, I forget what it was. Maybe 150 pips. So for this trade, yes. So for this trade, I did get stopped out, but because I was using a small lot size, I extended my TP because I saw this buy right here. So this buy came when I was already asleep, and then I think this buy was somewhere towards the end of Asia. Then you had this buy in the morning. So when I saw this buy, so this particular trade, I did not enter with a regular lot size. So this is why I was still in this trade. So if you look at my profits, the one I sent today, you'll see that I had another gold buy. So this is the one I had entered with another smaller lot size. And the reason I extended the TP, the stop loss, is because so yesterday, the trades we took on US 30 hit full TP, right? So if you remember yesterday during the live session, we entered buys on US 30. If I go to the indices, we had 2 trades on US 30. These were the trades on US 30. We had a filler buy for 150 pips TP, 150 pips stop loss. The risk was 0.125. That one went and hit full TP. Then we had the next major buy that we entered with a 0.5 risk, 0.5% risk around the daily bullish low. Around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you see this fake out, and this is why I said for this trade, let us use 150 pips TP, 150 pips stop loss. So they came all the way down to try and stop out the people or the smart buyers who are trying to catch the daily bullish low, the hourly bull. So yesterday I said US 30 was in nothing but bullish zones. So this manipulation right here, they tried, let me see if I can see that candle. This was it right here. So we had the buy around, let's see what value that was. 33,269. So this was the trade 33,269 right there, right? So for this one, I told you guys because of manipulation, and we did not have a static trend line. So I said they are more than likely it's better to have our stop losses below this demand zones. So look at this, almost got faked out of this trade, and then they came back up and picked up liquidity from this bullish zones, and then the trade went into full take profit. So that's the importance, and this is the second longest trade we've held for US 30. Well, by longest I mean like the TP, because normally our TP for US 30 is 50 pips. And other than that, sometimes we do 100, but this is the second time we've done 150 pips TP, and it has gone ahead and hit. So for yesterday, we had a gain of 0.625%. Now for today, this gold trade, right? So I said, look at the reversal, we also had this buy. So I did not enter on this buy. So I waited, same thing I said yesterday, wait for a high low to be created for a static trend line to be established. So don't worry if price, so here you could have entered, sure, but price would have come a little bit in drawdown, and some people don't like seeing drawdown. But if we were going to buy here, so let me go back to this chart that has those markups. So if we're going to buy here, because the reversal buy is somewhere here. So if we are going to buy here, that means price is about to start trending up. Now you want to wait for confirmation. Just don't enter a buy because you got a signal for a buy. Wait for what are three confluences: trend line, 9 EMA, high low period. So here, by the time I was seeing this trade, we already had a lower low and a high low. So I connected that trend line, and then we got a buy signal on gold. So at that point I had, and I just sent this in the Discord. At that point I had, what is that? How many confluences were those? At that point, I had 5 confluences. So as much as we did have that 4-hour bearish order block, to me, that was superseded by all these other confluences I have. Also, the demand zone that was here on gold, this might have been a weekly demand zone. I'm not sure where I drew them from, because I draw all demand zones the same color, all supply zones the same color. And then also I saw this golden cross coming on the 5 minutes. So at this point, right, price was just begging me to enter a buy. So I entered a buy there, had like just minimal drawdown for this candle. And also you could see this, we had a structure right here. This lower high had been created. So normally you want to expect a retest and then closure above. So still in this trade, they failed to break back down here, and price was supported by the 9 EMA. And then guess what? When you normally have a golden cross material, and I've told you guys this time and time again, when you have a golden cross or death cross materializing, you have a spike in liquidity. And there you go. So, that was just an easy trade to take. And I sent it in the group. So that's why I recorded today's results as up 0.5%. So remember, the results I record on here are not personal trades that I take. So sometimes I take trades on my own. I do not count them, because sometimes I'll take a trade and make 2%. So I'm not going to count this. I only count the trades that I tell you guys to take, or that I send in the group, or take on the live session. So yeah, so today again, it's so let's see if we'll have any trades. We have a death cross forming on US 30. We're in a downtrend right here. We do have this 4-hour bullish highs and 30-minute bullish lows, but we do have this daily bearish low here. So let me see what zone we are in. If I turn on our indicator and go to see what channel we're in. And remember, on Friday, we don't try to force any trades. If there's no trades, if you took the gold trade with me, you should be up already for the day. So so we are in an uptrend. You can see both of the channels are in an uptrend, but we are in a sell zone. So we would love this two channels to be trending to the downside, but is it a deal breaker? No, because we are still in a sell zone. So for this right here, actually we should be looking for okay, if that candle closes, what time is it? We have 30 seconds. That should be a sell on US 30. Give me a second. Let me turn this off. And we also do have that death cross forming. This candle tried to break and close above, but it's closing below. So if this candle closes below this trend line, I will sell US 30 right here. Let me see. The stop loss, we normally do 50 pips, stop loss 50 pips, take profit, but we do want our stop loss to be above this trend line. So let's do 75 pips and 75. Okay, wait. This candle, no, this candle did not close below the trend line. So we needed this candle to close below the trend line. Yeah, so we just need to wait for another candle to close below this trend line. So this candle tried to close below the trend line, but on the last seconds, it shot up and closed above. However, we do have this what is it called, death cross forming, but we need confirmation. Now the best thing here is that we have two established trend lines. So we have this trend line to the downside and we have this trend line to the upside. Now if you're solely trading the death cross, you should be able to hop in right here, right? So remember, if you're trading the death cross without looking at any other confluences, you normally wait for a retest of the night. If you want to enter early, you want to wait for the retest of the 9 EMA or 200 EMA. But for me, since I'm not trading this death cross by itself, I'm just trading the trend line, I'll wait for the candle that will break and close below this trend line. So that's what I'm waiting for right now. So again, I always want to wait for confirmations and not just FOMO into any trade. Plus, I'm already up for the day. So so the other thing, we want our stop loss to be above this trend line. So let's see, we have three minutes and change before this candle closes. Yeah, but if you wanted to, if you're trading the death cross by itself, you know, this could be the trade you could have hopped in on. But for me, I'm waiting for this candle to close. If it closes below the trend line, then I'll hop into that sell. Yeah, I really don't want to enter early. Let's see what other opportunities we have. So gold, we already traded. You can see EU is still in a downtrend, but EU is coming into demand zones. So right now, I don't see anything on EU per se. So let's wait on this US 30 trade. And I think we do also have news at 10 p.m. 10 a.m. So in 13 minutes. So if that's the case, right, I always want to see, as much as there's news, like what are the charts telling me? So I don't see news as a bad thing, right? Because if you think of news as something that can push you to TP, there's no reason you should feel bad about trading news. Yeah, but I like this setup, 75 pips TP, 75 pips stop loss. I just need this candle to close. Let me set that up on my trade manager. Yeah, but today is mostly like a day we just set aside for you guys to ask me any questions, anything that you've seen improvement on, anything that you're struggling with. Today should be the day for that. Yeah, so if it closes as this big of a bearish candle, I am not going to take it. I'll just wait. Yeah, so if it goes away, then it goes away, but you know, there was the death cross. That's just easy to trade, and there goes US 30. So if you hopped into the death cross by itself, you could have been up about 50 or so pips just in like a few minutes. But for me, ideally, this candle is too huge. Remember, I was waiting for a closure of the candle below. So this candle that I was trying to enter on was trying to close below, but it closed above, went and retested the 9 EMA for the death cross, and then now price is sinking to the downside. But you can see obviously US 30 is in a downtrend. This is so obvious. The other thing I want to tell you guys, as much as we have all these strategies, find one strategy that we have and stick to it. So that's my other thing going forward. Next week, since pretty much I think right now my EA is complete, so I'll just be going ahead and testing the EA. I was spending a lot of time working with the programmers, so now I'll have a bunch of time left to do some of these other things. But the strategies that I will focus on, and especially if you have access to my indicators, there's no reason why you shouldn't have caught this gold buy. Right, and also you have the breakout indicators. So going forward, I'll be focusing on what we have at the breakout scanner. I'll just be looking for a trade in here, and then I'll just be waiting for reversals on some of the instruments that we trade. So just if you literally focus on that, or you can just be focusing on the trades I take on the live session. So if you focus on the trades that I take on the live session, take a trade that I call, use the risk that I use. If you started with me in March, you would have never blown your account with me. Like if you just chose to take the trades that I took, you would have been up, this much. So sometimes we get distracted by trying to make a ton of money, excuse my French, a ton of money in a single day. But remember, this game is a game of, it's a long game. Do not try to make 10% in a day. You're not going to survive in the trading game. Well, I wish you do. I wish you the best. If that has been working for you and you've been making 10% every day for the last 5 years without blowing an account, that's good. Good for you. But if you have been struggling to maintain a funded account or a challenge, and you realize it's because you're trying to make 2% in a day, 3% every day, listen, just take a step back. Find a strategy that works for you. Use the reversal indicator. Use just this, master it, backtest, dedicate and say, this for the next 2 days, I'm turning off my challenge. I'm not trading. I'm not taking any trades on my challenge. And all I'm going to be doing is focusing, learn how the breakout scanner works, find 1 or 2 trades, learn how the reversal indicator works, find 1 or 2 trades. This is a trade you could have easily, even though you want to make 2%, on the other hand, with the reversal indicator, instead of wanting to make 2% every day, which trust me, you'll end up blowing your account and maybe spending thousands of dollars with failed challenges. Instead of trying to make that 2% in a day, tell yourself, I'm going to master the reversal indicator and I'm going to aim to make 2% per trade and only take 4 trades in a month. So guess what? Today you master it. So even though you would have gotten stopped out, because this was a valid trade right here, and I'd talked about this yesterday. So let's say you got stopped out of this trade. Did the trade make sense? Yes, it did. It made sense. Okay, you get stopped out. You say, this strategy, based on what Michael has shown, it has like a 80% win rate. So I know I'm not gonna win every time. So you get stopped out here. So what's our strategy with getting stopped out on a 5-minute reversal? So you can do one of 2 things. Wait for supply and demand zones around you. Wait for bullish or bearish zones around you. On the other hand, if you just want to keep trading that, after the 5-minute, move to the 30-minute and now wait for a buy signal down there. So after you get stopped out, move to the 30-minute and wait for a buy signal down there. But the buy signal should what is it called? Should use the same, how do I put this? Should use the same parameters as the point of interest, right? So if you're here on the 30 minutes and we got stopped out here, draw the same thing. So come in here, point of interest is right here. I can automatically see this zone right here. So even number, call that 2017 50 or whatnot. So the last time price was consistently above the 9 EMA. Then draw your 150 pips threshold. What's 150 pips less 2017? That's 2002, 27-ish. 17 or whatnot. So the reason you're drawing this is that you're not interested in any buy signal. So the reason you're on the 30 minutes is because you got stopped out on the 5-minute with the reversal. Then come in to the 30-minute or the 1-hour time frame. Do the same thing, right? Don't get smart. Just apply the strategy as is. Say, I'm not interested in any buys that will show up within or between this threshold, between this 150 pip threshold. So throughout the night, right, let gold keep dropping, because the people who try to catch buys here, they're just getting burnt. Okay, you come in here, since it's a high time frame, you change this to fast MA, and then you change this to 0. So if I do this, and this should be 50 for gold. Well, there should be a buy signal down there. Give me 1 second. Close. Okay. All right. Yeah. So on the high time frames, you need to play around with either fast MA or close. Give me 1 second. Let me see something on the 1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour is just closing above. Okay, so in this 30-minute, at this point, you would not have taken any of these buys. So you would not have taken this buy, and you would not have taken this buy. Again, you don't want to force any trade. Sure, gold came all the way back up, but then you'd say, right, it's just one of those times. I got stopped out of the 5-minute. When I went on the 30-minute, sure, I did have 2 opportunities to buy, but none of these buys were valid because they were not in the 150 pip threshold. I thought we would get a buy here, but looks like we didn't on the 30-minute. So at that point, just be down. If you had risked like 2% today, if it's one of those trades, you just take 4 of them a month, you're just down 2%, close that account, wait for the next time you'll get a reversal signal, and find a way to enter it. So you have all this, you have the breakout scanner that literally has maybe 30 instruments. Analyze it. Like I caught GJ yesterday. I think I'm still in the GJ trade as well. So GBP, JPY, there was a good reversal on GJ yesterday. This buy right here. I just caught it on the 5-minute personally. I went here and I caught GJ at this buy. Right here. So this is the buy for GJ. I think I'm still in it. It came like literally 2 pips to TP, but I was asleep. So I did 500. No, but for GJ, we said do 75 pips TP, 75 pips stop loss because GJ moves heavier than other, especially other pairs. Oh, it looks like it did. I don't know why mine didn't hit. Maybe slippage. Yeah, but this is a GJ trade that I caught yesterday for the reversal because when I saw a GJ right here, I saw my point of interest was here. And US 30, you know, I miss, okay, wait, this, give me 1 second. So US 30 is giving another entry. We are 4 minutes before news. So let's see. If this candle closes, because it came back, so remember, after a death cross or golden cross is formed, you normally get a retest of the 9 or 200 DMA. So this candle is retesting. At this point, you might as well have gone to the 1 minute to get an early entry. But when this candle closes, it would be a buy. However, we are 5 minutes before news. When I'm on the live session with you guys, I tell you guys I'm not entering a trade 5 minutes before or after. So this is a valid sell, but I'm not going to call it. Now, right, just use your analysis. I'm not going to say whether I'm taking it or not. You guys know how I trade or my opinion of news. But this would be, so long as this candle closes below the 9 EMA and below this trend line, that would be a sell. But again, I'm not going to call it. I know personally what I'm going to do. But let me go back to GJ. So GJ, here, what did I have? I had a point of interest, which was right here, horizontal ray. So the last time price was consistently above the 9 EMA. So here, this candle broke above. Then this next candle tried to close above the 9 EMA. But if you zoom in, you'll see that this particular candle, where is it? This red candle closed below the 9 EMA. The next one closed above, the next one closed below. So that is not being consistently above the 9 EMA. So this is the last point. Price was consistently above the 9 EMA. Then I come in here, I draw my threshold. So for FX pairs, a trend is 50 pips. So I come in here. And for GJ, so GJ, remember to always multiply by 1.5 or 2, because GJ, 10 pips on EU is not the same as 10 pips on GJ. GJ moves a little bit heavier. So for GJ, I would say maybe 75, or even though you wanted to do a 50, it still would line up, but I'll do 1.5 times. So 1.5 times of 50 would be 75 pips. So here for GJ, less 75 would be 168. I'm also looking at US 30. 168. I'm terrible at math, guys. 950, right? No, around 900. So somewhere around here, 850-ish. So what I would tell myself is I'll come in here, do 75 pips. So this is what I did. I told myself, this is a trend on GJ. I'm not interested in any buys that will show up in this zone. So come in here. I'm only interested in buys. I'm not interested in sells. So you can see the sell trend that started, right? But if you're using the reversal, if you're looking for buy, turn off the sells so that they don't distract you. So I waited for a buy and I hopped into the buy down here, and I'm still in that trade. So this is what I'm talking about. Just look at one trade and focus on it, right? Don't keep jumping around to other particular trades. Yeah, so again, today's Feedback Friday is not trying to rush any, and there you go, that jump to the bottom. I should close this. I need, so give me 1 second. Look at that gap to the bottom. And of course, my charts are frozen, but I literally hopped into that trade before the trade. So this is what I was talking about. Don't care about news. Like news, ideally, if you think about news, think of news in an optimistic way. So I'm in this trade. It's not going to count because I didn't call it as an official trade, but this is an example of why not to care about news. So right before this candle closed, like I had 2 minutes, I saw it was gonna close below. We have a death cross. We have all of this. But how I want you guys, if you're still new, do not trade 5 minutes before or after news unless you know or unless you understand the risk. But if you've been with me, you know my opinion of news. My opinion of news is I'm always optimistic of news in respective to my trade. So for this one, it matched everything. Price is in a downtrend. We have a death cross right here. What do we know when a death cross happens? When a death cross forms, you normally expect price to come back and retest the 9 EMA or 200 EMA. Guess what? This candle is the one that led to the formation of the death cross. This candle came back up, and then this candle and the next candle retested the 9 EMA for the death cross. That is a confluence that has already been met. So why not hop into this trade? So for me personally, I did jump into this trade, but on the live session, since I know some of you guys might be new, until you catch on how I trade news, I never call any trades 5 minutes before or after news. But if I'm already in a trade, let's say we caught this sell somewhere before here, or somewhere around here, and like 10 minutes before news we were in the trade, I'm not going to automatically close it. So for me, my main confluence is always, does the trade make sense to you based on your strategies? If it does, I'm going to enter that trade. Now on this trade where I'm looking to exit, look at where we are at. On the 1 hour time frame, we have a static trend line from this high to this lower high. So what do we know about static trend lines? They will almost always be retested. Okay, so we expect US 30 to come back and at least retest this trend line on the downside. Is there any questions so far?
No, it's cool.
Perfect. Yeah, so right, news, don't let so long as a trade makes sense to you, right? And at this point, so this is not an official trade. Personally, I took it, but of course it's not going to count. But at least we had an official trade on gold in the morning. So this is, I mean, I love, some people don't like Fridays. I love each and every trading day. Like I like to look at trading this way. Each and every candle is a trading opportunity. That's it. All you need to do is find one good, and literally when I tell you guys, focus on one of our strategies. Leave, right? If you're doing well trading with me on the live session, focus on that. Forget about the reversal strategy. Forget about the breakout scanner. Just focus on my live trading. Attend each and every live session I have. Monitor the Discord for each and every trade that I send. If that's working for you, stick with that. If the live session is not working for you and the reversal strategy is working for you, right? Get the indicators, and if you get the indicators, you get a pack, you get all of the indicators that I have and all the indicators that I'll ever have. So get that, take some time off, study them, see how they work, back test, and then prep your entries. Right? Trading is simple. The only issue comes when you overcomplicated it. And I know Desire, you're in here. So how is it going since how's FOMO? Have you reduced FOMO? Have you seen any improvement in your win rate so far since we last talked? I know I gave you a set of advice like 2 weeks ago, so I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing so far.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm not taking any more like FOMO trades, but I notice that I make mistakes on some trades on risk management. It means like that I don't take a lot of trades, but I am usually looking for reversal. So sometimes when I see a good reversal, maybe I will use like 1% risk.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that usually when I trade using following the trend, I usually take 0.5 risks.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that, for example, this week, like I had all winning days except one day when I took a trade. I think it was Euro NZG, the trade we were
Yes.
looking after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I took it with 2% risk, which means that I lost that trade, and after it went straight to take profit.
Yeah.
So I lost that trade on 1%, which means that it almost took away some of my profit that I made, because like I put a higher risk on that one. And
Mm-hmm.
usually when I trade following the trend, I use like 0.5 risk. So I was thinking about maybe, because like the minor pair like NZD, GPY on
Mm-hmm.
or all of these pair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you back tested them on the reversal strategy, but it seems like they don't move. Every pair moves differently, but
Yes.
yeah, these pair like they are so slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you're right. They move slowly. So
Yeah, they move so slowly, and yeah, and I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that, and I was like out of patience.
okay. Give me 1 quick second. Let me reply to something. So you've definitely said something that caught me. So number one, you said that you've noticed an improvement in the FOMO trades, right? So remember, trading is growth. So that's number one. Especially if you beat FOMO, that's it, right? That's the first step to being a profitable trader. Now the next one you need to work on, right? Risk management. So knowing how do I sign, or how do I um, assign risks, right? So for me with the reverse, and you're right, and you brought this up to me the other day, is for GJ and such like Euro NZD, they move maybe they move longer, and their PEEP calculation is different from like the major pairs. So that's another thing to note, right? And that's why you actually, one of the reasons why I have this adjustment here for GJ, because if this was EU, we would say this should be 50 pips, but for GJ or NZD CHF, this should be 1.5 to 2 times more. So if we had gone for 2 times more for the Euro NZD trade, you wouldn't have gotten stopped out, right? Because you went for, what did you go? Did you go for 100 pips or 50 pips? Or did it drop off? I think you're muted. But so for the reversal strategy,
sorry.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was saying that I went for 100 pips and I just the trade touched my stop loss like for 1 pip and after it reversed.
Perfect. So
yeah, just 1
yeah.
pip.
So 100 pips. So then next time maybe, but 100 is good. So that's just one of those trades where you get faked out and price comes down. Now for next time, you see the way it's fine, just the way you lost 1%. So next time you see that that strategy has worked. So maybe next time with Euro and ZD, I don't recommend increasing because 100 pips is quite high. So next time, just get into the same trade with the same risk, and at least you'll be able to get 1% back. And if I know you have access to my indicators, so look at all these instruments. So even right now, odd JPY is breaking out for a sell. So all of this, they have possibilities of reversals. So I mean, what you mentioned sounds good to me. It's just one of those things that you're losing, or you lost one trade. And you said the other thing, you've been winning the trades consistently this week. So that's what matters. The other thing I saw, there's another group I was in and I saw something I think that's quite interesting or good. Have a risk to reward ratio of at least 1:1. So always have a positive risk to reward. So don't risk 3% to gain 1%, if that makes sense. So always have at least a 1:1. So you can have 1:1, 1:1.5, 1:2, 1:3. So don't risk 1% to make 0.5%. But so long as you maintain that positive risk to reward ratio, and you have a good strategy that's winning, you will almost always come out on top. Yeah, does anybody else have anything else to add? Anything they're struggling with, anything they've seen improvements in? So I don't see anything on gold. You can see gold, we are in a bullish zone. It just tapped a 4-hour bullish low, but keep in mind, they can easily use these bullish zones as bearish zones. And today is Friday, so Fridays almost always expect continuation in the market or reversal. So the question here is gold going to use this bullish lows to continue pumping up, or is it going to use this bullish highs and lows to reverse to the downside? So, but we do have a golden cross on gold. So right now, everything is pointing to the upside for gold. However, I do not see any entry for gold. The only entry I see on gold is a retest of this trend line. Retest of this trend line and then move back up, right? Because when you have a static, always have a static trend line on your chart. That's gonna help you. That helped me majorly to enter this trade. So if you're looking for a buy on gold, wait for the retest of this static trend line and then enter your buy there. But right now I don't see any trade on gold. EU is reversing to the upside. It's in a demand zone, but it's still trapped within or following this trend line. US 30, I'm not taking any other trade. We do have a daily bearish low here. So now this is another trade we can take on the live session. It's after news. This death cross is holding. Price is rejecting from this daily bearish low. These zones, the daily zones, rarely come up. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, we do have structure to complete on US 30. So keep it right. And this is the same thing I told you guys. When you have a static trend line, expect rejection from that static trend line. So which is why I closed out my short on US 30, the one that I took before news at this point, because I was expecting price to reject to the upside for US 30. So right now, if this closes, if we go to the 1 minute, you'll see it even better. You'll see price rejecting from this daily bearish low right here. But we need a closure below on the 5 minute for a sell. Now this will be an official trade, and we still need our stop loss to be above this trade. So this would be a 50 pip stop loss. Won't, you can still easily get faked out. 50 pip would still be good because so just use the same risk and analyze, right? So to me, you'd rather have a stop loss that's above this trend line to the upside. or have a stop loss that's both above this trend line to the downside, that's a static trend line, stop loss that's above the 9 EMA, and stop loss that's above this 200 EMA. So in any case, I'll use a 75 pip TP and stop loss for this one. But this is a valid sell for me for this trade. So today, today I'm heavily up in profit. So I really don't want to risk too much anymore. So for this trade, we're already up 0.5% for the day. Honestly, I don't want us to risk the 0.5 because if you took the gold trade that I sent this morning, you should be up about 0.5%. So I really don't want you, and plus it's Friday. I would rather be break even any other day of the week. So for this trade, honestly, let's just use it as a filler trade. So I'll just call 0.125% for this trade. So when this candle closes, and even do 75 pips TP7. Now, if you want to risk your profits for today, feel free, but to me that's not a good way of trading, especially on a Friday. So for this trade, I am waiting for closure of this candle and I will take this trade. In any case, you know what, I'll go for 50 pips. Let's see what happens. Let's see how the 200 EMA, since it's only 0.125% risk, ideally I need my stop loss to be above this 200 EMA as well. Yeah, so this trade is 0.125, meaning, yeah, no, let's just do 100. It's just better off that way. Yeah. So I'm in the trade sell. There you go. Even though myself, I still had the 75 pips from the other trade. Let me do this. Sometimes in life you have to go double or nothing. But don't, just get into that trade with 0.125% risk. I forgot I'm in the trade, but I'm in with like a 75 pip stop loss and TP. So I'm trying to adjust this to have 100 pip, and you can see no drawdown trade, right? The trade made sense. The trade is rejecting from a daily bearish low that rarely comes in, and trying to adjust this. Okay. I was about to open with a bigger trade using 100 pip stop loss at 100 pip TP, but I'll just leave mine. So mine is just 75, but this trade that I called, it's 100 pips. And then we'll just let the trade ride. Does anybody else have any other questions regarding anything we are going over or anything we've gone over?
So sorry, just to confirm, with gold and US 30 on the reversal range, that's 150 pips for both of them, right?
No, US 30 is 500.
Okay, 500.
Yeah. So US 30 is 500. Do I see a trend on US 30? Not really. We have a bunch of consistency above the 9 EMA. So in any case, if I was looking for a reversal on US 30, which I do see, it's definitely possible because we are in a daily bullish bearish low period. No, that's the breakout scanner. So if I go US 30 here, so for example, what I would need here is, oh yeah, we got a buy yesterday. Is this what we took? I remember marking this up. Is this today? No, this is yesterday. Interesting. Yeah, I know we were looking for a reversal on US 30 yesterday. I mean, either way, the trades we took on US 30 yesterday were valid. We had a winning trade for US 30. So for today for US 30, what I would be looking for a reversal, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a point of interest. So the last time price was consistently above the 9 EMA. Not here. This is well, it's here. I don't like how it is, but it is for like 15 or so minutes. Then what I'm looking for is this 500 pips. So for me to look for a buy on US 30, price has to stay consistently below the 9 EMA for 433. So that should be about 950. I'll call that 450 right here. So around 33,074. So price has to stay consistently below the 9 EMA until 33,074 without any. So I'm not interested in any buy signals that show up from there. So that's how I would look into getting a reversal for US 30. I'm not sure it's going to trend that far, but we're in a sell, so hopefully. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question on that reversal.
Yeah, and in terms of the indicator itself, breakout pips, was that the one that was at 50?
Yes, correct. So for US 30 and US 30 and gold is 50. Yeah. So you have access to the reversal indicator, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. Wait, is this Henry or who is it?
No, this is
Oh.
Joe.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So what else? Yeah, so that's how you do it. So if you get any buys within here, or if US 30 breaks above the 9 EMA and is consistently reversing, that reversal is invalid. So you want like you see like yesterday, so this is what you're looking for. As much as we had this big candle. So for example, if this big candle wasn't there, I mean, we've definitely had reversals on US 30. Normally you get them days before heavy news, days after heavy news, Fridays maybe, and sometimes beginning of the week. So today, in any case, price might just reverse to the upside. Yeah, but that's how you go for that. So what else do we have? Yeah, so nothing really, nothing else. Anybody else that has anything?
You mentioned looking for trades in specific sessions. Which I was going to ask, because you mentioned specific times, but obviously I'm in a different time zone. So I was going to say if you're able to write down the sessions or the windows of that you found that works best with these strategies.
So for the reversal, okay, so the trigger for me, there's 2 ways to trade the reversal. Number one, the trigger is news, heavy news, NFP, FOMC, CPI. Expect the day before and the few hours after to lead to a trend, because what you need for a reversal is a trend to form. So technically, as much as we call it as a reversal, it's still catching a trend. Now, that's the first trigger. The second trigger you can use to trade reversals, if you have, so you have access to my indicator. So you see this breakout scanner, go to maybe a high time frame here. So just apply to any chart. It doesn't have to be the chart you're looking for. So right now it's just on my US 30. So go for try and find a breakout maybe on higher time frames. So maybe 30 minutes, because I doubt you'll get anything on you rarely get anything on the 1 hour and 4 hour unless the trend is just starting. So right now we know odd JPY is breaking out for a sell on the 30 minutes. So what do? We come in here with our reversal indicator, do odd JPY. So that's the second way to find a reversal. Come here. So it's looking to break out for a sell on the 5 minute. Okay, so that's perfect. So what then you would do here is identify your point of interest. So you can either trade with the trend, but that's on the 5 minute. Wait, no, this is on the 30 minutes. So that's a stronger breakout. So you'd come in here. If you want to trade with a trend, find an entry for a sell on odd JPY. If you want to wait for the reversal, find the last time price was consistently above. So you go here. So this is your point of interest. All right, step 1 is complete. Step 2, so odd JPY I think is similar to GJ, the pips. So the pips movement is different. So here for odd JPY, we want to do about 75 pips, because normally if it's EU or major pairs, let me just divide it into major and minor pairs. Major pairs, this would be 50 pips. So for example, here 50 pips would be around, to even it out, I'll call it 700. 700-ish, so around there. So this would be a trend on, say, EU, but since this is a minor pair, do 1.5 times or do 2 times. So let me move this. I normally like to do like even numbers. So 190. So let's try and do 75 pips from here. So 75 pips from here will be 85, 65 maybe. I don't know. Whatever the number is, I'll call it 85, 600. So you come here. So what you're looking for here is, and this is for minor pairs. I'll start breaking down, so for major pairs, anything with the USD attached, 50 pips. Anything with that's a minor pair, this is 75 pips or 100. So between 1.5 to 2 times the amount. Just 1 second. Give me 1 quick second. Okay, perfect. So then what you're looking for here, then you turn on buys only. So you're not interested in any buy. In any case, right now, it's telling you on the 30-minute that we are selling. On the 30-minute, it's telling you that we are about to sell. And you can see right here. However, this is not a sell I would take. You can see we're possibly forming a double bottom on odd JPY. But if it's supposed to sell, then I'll just let it sell, and I've done my markup, and then I'll wait for a buy that then would show up after here, if that makes sense. So price goes all the way down here without being consistently above the 9 EMA, and then I'll get a buy signal here. So for here, if you're doing the 5-minute, this should be 1, this should be 30 or 40 for FX pairs, and this should be close. And then you just wait for your buy signal down there. If you're doing this on 30 minutes and above, this should be try 0 and try fast moving average for this. So if this was the 30-minute, yeah, but that's how you would line it up. So the triggers for looking for a reversal: news, days before news, days after news, or use the breakout scanner indicator. So you have all these instruments. Look for something that's probably trending, and then just go in and do your markup, and that's how you catch a reversal. Because definitely news days rarely come. So yeah, so with this breakout scanner, so I'm still yet to dive deep. I know what it does because it's my logic that created it, but I'm still yet to dive down into it. So hopefully I'll do that next week, because I just got done having my EA completed. So I'll have some more time to deal with this. Yeah, but hopefully that helps with how to identify those.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, perfect. Anybody else with a question? All right. So
Sorry, did you mention the time frames?
oh, the time frames.
Yeah, I know you were speaking like Asia session and New York session.
So I try at any point, I try and avoid getting trades after 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 2:30 p.m. or let me just call it the rest of the New York session. So anytime after 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or let me generalize, 11:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I avoid getting into trades. Now, sometimes I'll find a trade that's valid. However, what I'll do, instead of using, if I'm risking 0.5% for that trade, what I'll do, I'll risk half of that. Because the thing I've noticed after New York session to mid-Asia, you normally get a lot of fake outs before the actual move happens. So what I'll notice, I want to save, I don't want to miss on the move. So A, it's not FOMO. So number one, is the trade valid? Yes, the trade is valid. However, it's coming in at around 1 p.m. Okay, as much as the trade is valid, what do I know about end of New York and beginning to mid-Asia? You normally have a bunch of fake outs. So if I'm risking 0.5% for that trade, I will enter the initial trade with like a filler lot size, maybe risk 0.2 or 0.1. And then if my analysis is correct, price is going to go against me. If price goes in my direction, well and good, I just end up making 0.1. That's better than not making anything. But if my analysis was correct and I hedged and went with a smaller risk, price goes against me, guess what? Sometime during mid-Asia, so you want to look out from like 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to now, whatever. If you get a trade around then, like for reversal, go ahead and take it. Now, yesterday I did mention that observe what gold does at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yesterday, 9:30 p.m. was what? So let's call this is 10:30. So this was about 13 hours ago, 13 hours ago. So I remember seeing the gold candle of death on the 5-minute. So 13 hours ago, so this is about, this will be 1:30. So if we go to about 1:30, you'll see what I'm talking about. Here we go, here. This is the candle right here. This candle. So this was 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, always expect a heavy move. Well, not every day, but more times than not, always expect a heavy move on gold. So this was the manipulation that I saw, and I was like, oh, I told these guys like earlier to look out for 9:30. The other thing, and this one I'll credit it to another group I had joined, or I'm still part of. I was in that group earlier this morning, and they were also analyzing some instruments for gold. And by then, I think I was already in the trade or past the trade. So one thing they talked about is at about 8:20 a.m. every day, or around 8:30, that's when the commodities markets are opening. So they talked about watch out for liquidity for gold at around 8:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's just something helpful for you guys to look at going, so let's test this next week. So if you get like a signal, or if you have access to my signals, and Joe, I don't know if I added you to the Telegram for signals. If not, just send me your Telegram username. But you should have this signal access in the Discord. If not, let me know and I'll add you, because you should. Are you able to see the signals access on Discord and the charts access also on Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect then. And you're also in the Telegram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Telegram, I don't think I am, no.
Okay. If you want the signals also in Telegram, send me your Telegram username. If anybody wants to learn how to copy signals from the Telegram to the MT4s, let me know. There's this, it's not my application. It's there's 2 Telegram copiers out there. So I use this one. So this is the one. It's just like $100 lifetime for 2 accounts, to copy to 2 accounts. But this is the one that so that's why, if anybody normally does Telegram copying, just let me know and I can walk you through it. But yeah, if you want the signals on Telegram, let me know. If you're good with them on Discord, you don't have to join the Telegram. There's nothing special that goes on in the Telegram other than the same signals that we have here on the Discord.
Did you get into that US 30 trade?
Yeah, I'm in this trade. Yeah, I called it like way back. Yeah, so I've been in that trade. So it's 100 pips. Personally, I got in with 75 pips because I forgot to change my TP and stop loss here. But I'm in this trade. So for this trade, I told you guys to risk 0.125%. That's the recommended one. The reason I said that, I'm confident in the trade, but we're already up 0.5% for the day. So I don't want you guys to risk your whole percentage for the day. Personally, I'm not risking 0.125% because I'm already up like, God, I'm up heavy today. I'm up like maybe 8% or more. So I can afford to lose this. But yeah, but for you guys, if you took this gold trade with me and you made 0.5% for this trade, it's just like to show you guys the importance of putting price, putting TP, putting stop loss above trend line, above 200 EMA. So the reason we're entering this trade is that it's rejected off of this daily bearish low, right? And also we have a death cross. And also right now, I'm pretty sure if I turn on the channels, it will say that we are in a bearish channel trend. So yeah, so we are still in a bearish channel trend. The only thing is that these 2 channels are trending to the upside. Ideally, we would want them to be trending down, but again, still, that's not a deal breaker for this trade. Any other person has anything to comment on or ask for assistance with? Okay. So the other, what did I feel like I opened something. I have other accounts here that I'm looking at. Sometimes I get distracted. Interesting. see. So expect, remember, Fridays are for normally continuation. So I'm expecting US 30 to keep dropping. I'm expecting gold to keep dropping. I'm expecting EU to keep dropping. So remember, Fridays, they normally try to squeeze people out. So a lot of people are trying to catch the low or the high of something, but right, it just makes sense for them to keep. And look at how far EU can drop. EU can drop all the way to this trend line, right? This trend line has yet to be tested on the hourly. So I wouldn't be trying to catch any, in any case right now, I'll be looking to go with the trend for any of these instruments. So I wouldn't be looking to catch any reversals for any of these instruments that we are trading. So last but not least, so as I pointed out, if you go in the pinned messages, I did have a new vendor for what is it called? I did have a new vendor for the subscriptions. It's PayPal. So previously I had Square, and Square, apparently they say they don't do membership subscriptions. So, and since this was the first month for everything to be, well, not everything, signals, indicators, and charts access to be by subscription only, I had said that you know, anybody who just paid initially the lowest one, so any of the subscriptions. So initially the lowest subscription with me will be 99, ideally $100 a month. So I'd say that would give everybody access to that. Everybody would subscribe to that. So the people who had subscribed initially before I got dropped by Square, I did refund your money, but also, you know, I kept my word, and you still have access to everything, all these three, until the end of the month. So for everybody else, so I got PayPal as my merchant vendor. So right now, just to be fair, right, I did the same thing, but just did $50. So $50 until the end of May, you get access to all my indicators, access to all the signals, and access to the charts. The charts, ideally you get this. I'm doing everything for you. I'm doing all the markups for you. And then I share my trading view chart with you for US 30, gold, and EU. So the charts access, if you already know how to do markups on your chart, well and good. If you're still learning or you're working and don't have time to join the live session, I think the charts access is something that's good. For $100 a month, that to me is a no-brainer, because you get access to all this, and it's not just a screenshot. So you get access to all the supply and demand zones, to the bearish and bullish markups that I have. And for example, right, this is another way you can use the charts access. So if price is in like a demand zone and you get a buy signal, so the same thing with the gold trade this morning, price was in a demand zone, you draw your trend line, price was around last Friday's high. So, and you get a buy signals, and you know, that lines up with the zones that are around you. So you just enter like the buy I entered this morning. Yeah, but the $50 will be only until the end of May. After May, all regular prices will resume. Well, that's just the charts access. So charts access will be 100, ideally 100 a month, indicators 100 a month, signals 100 a month, indicators and signals 150 a month, and all three of them 200 a month. So whether you're using this on a prop firm, whether you're using, I'm making just by the signals only, and actually signals and indicators only, I'm making maybe $15 a day on a $1,500 account. So even though I was subscribing to any of this and I just need access to the signals, I'm able to pay off the $100 in like what, 3 or so days. Because what I'm looking for the signals, I only need one good signal a day. If you look at the signals are like 20 signals a day. So you just need one good one to come up, and then you just enter it. But yeah, that's, again, you don't need money. So you know, you don't need to subscribe with me to make money. You can just be hopping on the live session. And there goes the US 30 trade. So for this trade, if you're 50% in profit, go ahead and set break even. So this is 33, 334. Was it 100? Yeah. So this trade should be at break even. Especially if you use the higher risk. So for me, I use the higher risk. So at this point, I should be 50%. But if you just risk 0.125, you can let the whole trade ride without necessarily doing that. So I'll go ahead and secure 50%. and I will set break even. Move stop loss to break even. There we go. I think I secured 50%.
Sorry, Michael. You mentioned before with the signals in particular,
Mhm.
taking one a day. How do you filter out the best quality ones in
Mhm.
terms of what confluences do you line them up with? Is it the same as the reversal strategy or yeah,
Mhm.
different set
So
of
the good question. So the people who will do good with signals are, so remember, so for example, the EA that I had built is, and I'm heading to the testing phase, and I'm only just going to be testing with my accounts for now. The EA that I had built is encompassing signals, encompassing reversal strategy, encompassing the breakout scanner, encompassing the break and retest of trend lines, everything. So the EA is ideally, right, everything that we have. So to answer your question for the signals, the way to know a good signal, the people who would have an advantage, of course, and I know this is probably me marketing, but it's somebody who has access to the indicators, meaning they have access to the reversal indicator. So for example, let's go over the gold signal that came up. So the gold signal that came up at I think around here. So if you had access to the charts, you would have seen gold was coming off of and I'll show you how you could have made money even without the charts and just by the signal only. So if you have access to the charts, you could have seen gold was coming off of a demand zone. That's number one. Number two, you see the death cross and the golden cross forming that was about to form. Now that one, of course, the EMAs are free indicators from TradingView, so it's not any subscription you need for that. The other one is the knowledge of trading with me. You have a lower low to a high low, so this is a static trend line. Prices is trending to the upside. So at that point, you had a buy signal for gold. You come to the gold chart and you got a buy signal for gold. So for example, that signal was this one. So let's just like reanalyze that. Where was that? Gold buy somewhere at gold. I'm looking gold buy on the 5-minute. This was it right here. It was, right before news. I believe that was it. So personally, what I would have done, let's even say I didn't subscribe. So I come to the gold on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, I'm here on gold on the 5-minute time frame. I ask myself, and here you're not trying to force a trade. You're not trying to look for a reason where you want to validate that buy signal. You just look around. Okay, what's around me? So let's even say you don't have access to my charts. You just have a naked chart right there. Okay, so you have access to that. You have a buy signal forming. Automatically ask yourself, what do you see on the chart? So this is a 9 EMA, possibly crossing the 200 EMA. That's a golden cross. And the thing I know about a golden cross, price normally goes up. Okay, that's confluence number one. Confluence number two, you have a lower low to a high low. What that tells you is that, hey, draw a static trend line here so that you can see. It can also help you attach the stop loss or where to put the stop loss. So you come in here, draw a static trend line from there to there. And at that point, did that buy signal make sense to you? And also when we got this buy signal, it closed above this lower high. That's another confluence right there. Now that's assuming you don't have access to the reversal indicator. Again, I went over, if you had access to the reversal indicator, you would have seen that price gave you a buy at the bottom of that trend right there. But this is just assuming you only have access to the signal. So at that point, you ask yourself, based on what I know, does this make sense to enter a buy? To me, yes. Draw your trend line, put your TP and stop loss right there, and you could have easily won that trade. So once you get a trade, go to that time frame. Is it objective? Be objective. Don't try to force any trade. Look for where is price at? Where is price likely to go? What zones are where price is at? Okay, if I see that this is a good buy or this is a good sell, ask yourself, do I have a trend line? Okay, if not, draw your trend line. Do I have a 9 EMA confirmation? Get that confirmation. Do I have a high low or a point of entry? So for this one, I did not enter based off of a retest of the 9 EMA. I did not enter for the retest of the trend line because you can see that if I waited for the retest of the trend line, I would not have gotten filled on this trade. So for me, I use the point of structure. So remember, we always have 3 confluences to enter a trade: retest of 9 EMA, retest of trend line, or retest of a high-low period. So for me, I entered based off of a retest of the high-low period. The reason for not waiting for the retest of this trend line, because I saw this golden cross. So if this golden cross was to form, if price was to come back and retest this trend line, ideally this golden cross wouldn't have formed because it would have been invalidated. So at that point, I say, let me then use the entry for the retest of the structure. So I enter my buy there, and it went full TP. So you literally have to think. Just take your time and think of what confluence you're going to use, and you'll almost always have it. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And so basically some of the reversal signals, they also pop up on the actual signals themselves as one of the confluences.
Yes, so that's what you actually also want, right? So you want as many confluences as you can, and that will give you the confidence to enter a given trade. So you want as many things to line up. Yep, yeah, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Any other person has anything you guys are struggling with? Yeah, but if you're still struggling, like honestly, you know, the last time I gave Desire, you know, some advice, and you know, based on his feedback, and you know, I don't know Desire personally, but based on his feedback, he said, wait, the thing you told me, it helped me with FOMO. So literally, if you're still struggling, don't stop trying to try and make money, right? If you haven't been funded, if you've been trying to get funded for the last 2 years, there's no hurry, clearly, right? So take your time and say, I've been trying to get funded for 2 years, and whatever I'm doing clearly is not working. This is my advice to you. I have all these strategies, again, not even thinking of any subscriptions. Go back. I have all the recorded sessions on YouTube. Invest money in looking at that. Look at how do I enter the trades. I always tell you guys about waiting for the retest of a 9 EMA trend line and high-low period. That's number one. So tell yourself, literally every trade that I'll take, or I'll get access to his indicators, and I will master the reversal indicator. So this is my challenge to you: master the reversal indicator. And if you are not funded in like 2 months, I will, you know, we'll find a reason why. But master that and say, you know, I already know how Michael does the reversal strategy. So right now, you know, I'm not even going to be joining his live session, because this guy makes money sometimes away from the live session. And sometimes when the live session is coming, we don't get any trades. And then, you know what, I'll just dedicate my time to learning the reversal. And then trust me, in like 2 months, you're going to be good. So same thing like Livy here. Livy is good at trading trend lines, right? I don't know Livy. Livy just joined like 2 months ago. He went over how I draw trend lines, and he became good at it. And now he's good at drawing trend lines. The other person, Desire, he's started to become good at identifying reversals. So these are people that I have no knowledge of, but I know that these are people who've taken time to learn and understand my strategies, and it's working for them. So if something is not working for you, just pick one of these strategies that I have and stick to it, and then trust me, you will be profitable. It's as simple as that. I cannot overemphasize it. But other than that, I don't see anything else. We already had a winning trade. We have a trade that's currently in profit. So I don't see any other reason to stay on the live session unless you guys have any other question. So for EU here, this is what I'm looking for. I would be interested to see the structure for EU. So structure is, so maybe 1.084,400 area. So remember the hourly, and I did say this, the hourly trend line has yet to be retested. So I'm looking for EU to come somewhere around 1.08642. You can also see we have a monthly bullish high here. So for EU, I would be expecting maybe a retracement. So maybe something of the sort. And then maybe from here, we get a retracement to the upside. So around the previous monthly open, around 1.08388. So somewhere around here, which would also line up with the monthly bullish high coming down. So if price does come to this monthly, so I don't think we've ever gotten a monthly zone in the live session. So when price comes to this monthly bullish high, it's something that I would be taking on a heavy lot size. And we have nothing but bullish zones below that. We have a daily bullish high down here. So I'll be looking at EU for a nice reversal. But other than that, I hope you guys had a successful and profitable trading week. I will see you guys next week on Monday. All right, bye guys.
Awesome. Thank you.